President Putin, do you think he's negotiating in good faith once talks begin?
Who?
Putin.
Putin? That he really...
Is he capable of negotiating in good faith? Is Putin capable of negotiating in good faith?
No. No. It's not about good faith. No. Yes, you just can block his motivation to put him in such strong circumstances when he can't begin the new renovation. But he wants. You'll see. Everybody will see. He will try to begin something new. By the way, I said it today. I'm not sure that only about Ukraine we are speaking. He's thinking not only about Ukraine. For example, now we have, and we shared it with intelligence of our partners. Now we see how he's preparing to train 150,000 people, mostly on the territory of Belarus, to show it for the world that it's just training, that is usually he's doing the same usually, but it's not truth. From such point, he began the occupation 3 years ago. Full-scale war, he began from some symbolic trainings and etc. But really, так це було, як скажу українською, це було законспіровано.
It was really under conspiracy. So he conducted military training exercises on the territory of Belarus. He said that these are exercises that are always ongoing on Belarus territory, that they are allied states with Belarus and that they do regular business, but he started the invasion and the missiles in the first night flew from the Belarus and the invasion came from Belarus. We know for sure that he is preparing steps on the territory of Belarus this year. It can happen in summer, maybe in the beginning, maybe in the end of summer. I do not know when he prepares it, but it will happen. And at that moment, knowing that he did not succeed in occupying us, we do not know where he will go. There are risks that this can be Poland and Lithuania, because we believe that Putin will wage war against NATO. That is why I told you that. What is he waiting for? For a weakening of NATO by, for instance, policy of the United States of America. For example, that the United States of America will think to take its military from Europe. Yes, Putin thinks of that, but I will believe that the United States will not take its forces, its contingents from Europe, because that will severely weaken NATO on the European continent. Putin definitely counts on that. And the fact that we receive information that he will think of the invasion against former Soviet republics, and forgive me, but today these are NATO countries.
Just to be very clear, you are saying you have actual intelligence that President Putin is planning to attack NATO countries?
No, we have intelligence, we have documents that they are preparing trained mission of a big number of soldiers on the territory of Belarus. And we just sharing that there is a high risk that he can do the same, maybe not, God bless not, and maybe before it, President Trump and the allies will stop him. Yes, but anyway, I think that we have to prepare, yes, to prevent it, not to have such surprises that he will come back like it was 3 years ago with invasion to Ukraine. That is my point of view, not my point of view, that is our intelligence understanding.
If you were sitting across from Vladimir Putin right now, instead of me, what would you say to him?
I will speak. I will speak. No, it's not about emotions. It's about how to stop him. So for me, he is a killer, and he will never change. And that's why this is the dialogue with the terrorist. This is a dialogue with a killer. I don't have such power, enough power to push him out. That's why I have to speak about it. So our allies can give me such power to push him out, but our allies decided to make a deal with Putin. But what can I say? What I'm ready. Of course, we don't want, to lose our people, and if it can be so in diplomacy to stop this war, so of course we are ready. Of course, we'll be happy with the peace.
And when we come back, more of my exclusive interview with President Zelensky.